What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Welcome to the OBF the Network, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live stream so we go live, people. And if you can donate to the channel, go to OBF the Real Cash App and donate to the channel, people. All right, let's get it in real quick, man. This shit was unbelievable. When I heard this shit, I said, God damn, Megyn Kelly. Shout out to my brother, Bookie in the building. What up, Book? Hey, man. I heard this shit. I say, God damn, Megyn Kelly. I say, damn, it ain't that much hate in the world. Like, damn, it's a lot of she sound like a jealous lover or some shit. Like, this shit sound crazy, people. We just gonna jump straight on in. This shit was ridiculous when I heard it. I said, God damn, Megyn Kelly. She was like jealous though of the Obama's love, nigga. That shit. Shit was crazy, but let's get it in.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome you guys to this episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Sedancy. Let's get into this topic here. So, D.L. Hughley. Shout out to D.L. He recently dropped a show on his channel, D.L. Hughley, and this was an episode that was posted yesterday. It's called Austin Metcalf's Dad Says Black Jurors Can't Be Fair. D.L. Hughley isn't having it. This episode was published yesterday.
And listen, I want to say this to the Metcalf, the mother and the father. Listen, at this point, y'all talking about this shit, and like I can see if the appeal was set already. I get it. Why are they still talking? So let me just say this: the father of Austin. Listen, if black jurors could not be biased, right? Well, neither can white people. Okay? Because if the roles was reversed and there wasn't no white juries on that jury, I mean, couldn't we say if it was no white juries on there, the reason they're trying to get no white juries on there because y'all don't know how to not to be biased. Like it's almost like racist tropes and shit. Like at this point, like I said, Austin Dad's just a fucking racist. His mother, listen, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her. Honestly, I just want these people to go away. Like seriously, at this point. Go mourn your fucking son. Do these people even care about that child? He's dead. Go mourn him. You got another child. Go raise him. They out here acting like idiots, doing interviews and shit on podcasts. Nobody needs to hear your story. Because the more Austin Dad talks, the more and more we find out that you are a racist, and we can see how your son, the reason that he got stabbed by putting his hands on somebody and talking to people like he tough. Because that's a lot of tough shit. Like I said, certain black people are better than me. Because this motherfucker couldn't be roaming amongst me. Like, honestly. But anyway, let's move on. That ain't what I wanted to talk about, but it just came up. I'm sick of this dude. Just go away. Nobody gives a fuck about. You ain't even talking about how like how bad you feel and no shit like that. You just talking. Every time you hear about this dude, he says something more and more racist. Like the dude is arrested, the kid is arrested, your son is dead. Go mourn. Wait till the appeal, then you can come out talking. Like just shut the fuck up. Even the mother, like y'all got GoMe funds. Y'all go on a vacation. Nobody gives a fuck. I guess racist white people do, but at this point, stop mentoring black people. We don't give a fuck how you feel about us. Like honestly, I keep telling black people, like at this point, we don't really give a fuck like that. Like every time they speak, every time these racists speak, it justifies why we feel the way we feel. Honestly, I don't even get mad at this shit no more. I just be like, yo, just go away. I'm just annoyed by racist white people at this point. I'm annoyed by racist people, period, at this point. Like, just shut the fuck up. Nobody cares how y'all feel. Like, honestly. And definitely my people. A lot of our people don't give a fuck. Shout out to my brother Bell in the building. Honestly, but let's get back into this.
19 hours ago on his channel, DL Hughley. I suggest you guys go check it out. It's about a 45-minute segment, and I think you guys will love it. And during this segment, he was talking about a whole bunch of different things. He even brought up Stephen A. Smith at one point. But then it got to a point where he was discussing Megyn Kelly. And as you guys know, Megyn Kelly is a racist. She's an unabashed racist. And I don't know why some people think she's great. But there is one person that thinks Megyn Kelly is absolutely fantastic. And that person is Stephen A. Smith. He thinks Megyn Kelly is a wonderful person. Now, for those of you guys who may not be aware, Megyn Kelly recently took some disgusting shots.
It's not even just Stephen A. Smith that thinks she's a good person. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley. It's a couple of them buck dancing ass coons. So Stephen A. ain't the only one. He just right now, he got the biggest mouth. And he talks too goddamn much. We need to just shut the fuck up. But anyway, I said this shit years ago that Megyn Kelly was a racist. So a lot of shit that Megyn Kelly says does not shock me. When she go on her little racist tirades, it doesn't shock me. Like I said, I just like people like Megyn Kelly. Just call black people. Just being straight up racist. Just call black people niggas. Like, I'd rather you to be that instead of trying to pretend that you're not and doing, trying to be an inner closet racist but can't control yourself. So it slips out, you know what I mean? She jumps out the closet. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing it more and more now. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump is in office and it's acceptable at this point. The Republicans accept racism. So, yeah, like, Megyn Kelly been a goddamn racist. Like, nothing shocks me about what she says, but this shit didn't shock me. It's funny to me that how she goes on this tirade of trying to belittle and mock the Obamas for being in love and shit. Like, this shit is like the weirdest shit ever. Like, let's just move on.
At the Obama's marriage. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, and was basically making fun of their marriage. Take a look at the footage here.
We have got to discuss this People magazine piece of vomit on Pages. There are two, not one, but two articles about the Obamas. Now, there's puff pieces in media. Every once in a while, every pol is going to get a good puff piece done by a magazine like People. We know that. That's fine. You have something to promote, and they say nice things about. This is so over the top, someone should be fired. And that someone is named Janine Rubenstein, who is editor at large for People magazine. She wrote both of them. She's a disgrace to the profession.
Megyn Kelly. Like, do you look in the mirror? Do you hear yourself when you sneak? You are a disgrace. And she should be fired. Because let's just go off your narrative that it's just like you're annoyed. I guess you're annoyed by her writing of this piece that she, did with the Obamas or whatever. But why would she get fired for that? Because you want her to be fired? Like this, like the lady is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And more I see Megyn Kelly, the bitch look like Skeletor. Shout out to that He-Man movie. That shit was fire. I like that. But I was waiting for them to do a He-Man. So I know they're gonna be doing more and more. So I couldn't wait. It's been a long time. They should have been made that bitch, but whatever. But I really enjoyed that movie. If y'all grew up in the 80s and shit, you know what I'm talking about. He-Man was the shit back in the day. That was my the Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, and Rescue Rangers, and shit, fucking Power Rangers. All of them was like I guess that's 5. They were my top 5. Oh, and Woody Woodpecker. I fuck with Woody Woodpecker. And Uncle Scrooge, the DuckTales. That was my favorite. They were my favorite cartoons, but He-Man was my favorite though. That and it's a toss up between that and Thundercats. Thundercats is my shit. But yeah, go check that movie out. But anyway, this bitch, go look at Skeletor. Y'all don't know what Skeletor look like. Go look at Skeletor. That bitch look like Skeletor. Yeah, and Transformers 2, Frank. Yep. That was my shit too. Yeah. Transformers 2. Yeah. Listen, a lot of the like old cartoons was the shit back in the day. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because you know why? Because they only used to come on once a week. A lot of them only used to come on once a week. So, yeah, until when they start having cartoons come on every motherfucking day and shit, that's when cartoons kind of like ain't, ain't no mystery to it. It ain't exciting and shit. For me, I stopped watching cartoons. I like this shit crazy. But anyway, but let's move on.
Actually just looked up, like, what does Janine Rubenstein do? I've never heard of this woman who writes for people. And this is what they say. She's written, hold on, my team's just sending me. She's prior to People. She's written for Essence, the Cape Times newspaper, and Los Angeles Magazine. But what I read about her at People is that she's the host of the People Everyday.
First of all, it's a lot of writers that write for People. Nobody knows. Like she acting like that's some type of insult or something. Like it's a lot of writers that write for companies or whatever, right? Magazines or whatever, right? Nobody knows these people like that. You know what I mean? They usually don't get popular until they like you see them literally interview people. Like you get what I mean? So like you trying to like insult her like I don't know who she is. We don't know who a lot of writers are. I never probably heard of this lady, but still, that doesn't mean she's a bad writer because you didn't like her piece. Like Megyn Kelly, never mind. Let's just move on. Shout out to my brother, my little brother LT in the building. What up, L? Let's move on.
A daily dose of breaking news, pop culture, and heartwarming human interest stories. Formerly senior editor of music content, she's also covered crime, human interest, and television news throughout her many years with the brand. What word are you missing there? Politics, right? She doesn't cover hard news at all. And
what that got to do with her interviewing the Obamas? Because her piece was not about politics, if I'm not mistaken. It was about their relationship. Because she talks more about their relationship than politics. Megyn Kelly, you are horrible at politics. So, I mean, what's the difference? You friends with Stephen A. Smith, and he don't know shit about politics. You know about politics. You're educated in politics, but you horrible at it. Stephen A. Smith don't know shit. So, I mean, you trying to take shots at this lady for what? That's what I mean. Like, God damn, Megyn Kelly, like a racist is a hater. So I guess it shouldn't be shocking that she's hating. Because that's what a racist is. That's all they do is hate. You know what I mean? They ain't got nothing else better to do with their life but hate. This bitch should have been at the hate ball or something. At the hater ball or some shit. This bitch is a true hater. God damn.
All right, 2 articles. 1, Barack and Michelle Obama, in their most personal interview yet, quote, "We are each other's counterbalance." This is her writing. Okay, I'm gonna get through it. "It's in the way his hand rests gently on her knee, the way she crinkles her nose at the joke she's probably heard before. The way they can speak at the same time but somehow never seem to talk over each other. It's in the details. After nearly 34 years of marriage, and perhaps because of the minutiae.
Listen, that's just chemistry, right? Like, that's just like you got chemistry for somebody. Like, y'all chemistry is good, right? Like, sometimes, like, when you're in a relationship for a long period of time, most likely your partner is the only one can really kind of make you laugh, right? Like, shit is like kind of really funny. Like, other people say shit, but it don't really be that funny to you. You may not catch the joke, but if your partner if y'all in tune that way, y'all kind of got that accord, like, where, like, even if this shit ain't that funny, but it's funny to y'all. So, like, it's like Megyn Kelly, she's sitting there and she acting like this shit is like a bad thing. Like, if they got that type of chemistry, that's good in the marriage for being together for 30-something years. Come on, man. Megyn Kelly, listen, y'all ever, listen, I don't know Megyn Kelly's husband, but I never seen this dude. And from what I hear, allegedly, Don Lemon said he always be staring at his husband. You know, Don Lemon is on the sugar side of the game. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, hey, that's what I said. You never see her husband. I don't even know what this dude look like. I think I probably could find out what he looked like, what he do, but he's irrelevant to me. Just like Megyn Kelly be irrelevant to me. I'm only speaking about this shit because I just think it's funny that she has this much time to be hating on an article about the Obamas. Like, God damn, Megyn Kelly. Jeez.
Magnitude of what time encompassed the love between former President Barack Obama, 64, and former First Lady Michelle Obama, 62. It's palpable. I don't know if it's been an equal partnership, he says.
Man, you know what? I forgot that Obama is 60-something. I forgot. Because when he left office, he was like in his 50s, right? Yeah. And I was like in my 30s. Yeah, so that's about right. Yeah, but I keep forgetting Barack and Michelle is old like that. They look good though. That black don't crack. And you know, Obama mixed breed, so you know he got a little bit of that white in him. He still look good. That's that black, you know. It ain't cracking. Michelle look good. No disrespect. But Michelle look good for 62. God damn. Black don't crack. Woo. Megyn Kelly got all that damn plastic surgery. All that damn plastic surgery, all that goddamn makeup on her face. I just imagine what this woman looks like without makeup. And all that plastic surgery she didn't got. Because I looked at Megyn Kelly old photos. She got plastic surgery, people. Ain't no way.
But it's worked out for me pretty well. I've gotten more out of this than she has. For her, it's probably more of a mixed bag. Then the second piece. People magazine, same writer. Every photo from Barack and Michelle Obama's People cover shoot at their massive new Chicago center. Exclusive.
Hold up. And let me just say this too. Like, the weirdest thing about what she's doing and how she's like hating, it's like Megyn Kelly. Like, I only could, your husband has to be just as fucked up as you are for him to tolerate you. Because you just a bad human being. And you annoying at that. So your husband has to be just as fucked up and evil as you are as a person. Just as disgusting to tolerate you. Unless he's just a pussy. But he had, like, nobody bees with people they don't believe in the type of ideology. Right? You rarely get that. You rarely have people on different sides of ideology like that bees together. You can't be that opposite from, especially when it comes to certain ideology, right? You know, like it's certain, like black, I would say black women I wouldn't fuck with, right? The ideology would be off. I don't give a fuck how fine they are, how rich they are. It's just, the ideology, it just wouldn't sit right with me, right? So yeah, but just to see her like hating the way she do, her husband had to tolerate this type of shit because he a pussy, or he really actually he just as fucked up as she is. Like, cause what you hating on love for? Like at this point, bitch, you just hating on love. Hating on chemistry that people in love have. Like seriously, this shit is weird at this point. Let's move on.
Buckle up. When the pair arrived, you could feel the excitement and joy they both had ahead of showcasing the center to and for the Southside Chicago community they love so much. You could also feel the love emanating between them, as if there's such a thing as.
I'm looking at Megyn Kelly's head, right? Like her body, right? Her head is not that big, but her body makes her head look big because she got a little boy's body. Man, Kelly got a little boy body. Like, she got a little boy's body. She down there got a 12-year-old little boy's body. Shit, I wouldn't even say that. Maybe 10. Because, you know, these kids are big now. These kids develop very fast than we did back in the day. It's in that fucking food, but yeah, she got a little boy's body. This shit is ridiculous. But anyway, let's move on. I just was looking at her posture and shit and her body. I'm like, yo, and she just sitting down. Her upper body looks like a little boy.
4-year-old married newlyweds. Wait, not done. The gentle touches, easy laughter and smiles made the shoot fly by with ease as they moved from one setup to the next. Their love, like the pieces on the walls around them, presents like a work of fine art, painstakingly crafted over time, using a hodgepodge of materials until no more tinkering can make it any better. A joy to witness. Here's the truth. She's making us all hot and bothered. Here's the truth about their relationship. Let's run our little montage.
One word to describe your next chapter. One word. Me.
I'm so glad I didn't have a boy. Because he would have been a Barack Obama. Like baby Barack. It would have been amazing. No, I would have felt for him. We're empty nesters. It's like, well, what are we going to talk about? So we're together all day, and we do this thing where it's like, I'll see him, and it's like, what you been doing? It's like, oh, don't tell me until dinner, because we got to have something to talk about at dinner. The way you're chewing makes me want to smack you upside the head.
Even in my marriage now, you go through the period of, I want him to be different. I want him to do this differently. I've grown to know I don't have control over him, just like he doesn't have control over me. So let me do my work and let him do our work. And together we come together as whole people.
Fuck commercial people. Now, mind you, they took clips. This is what right-wingers do. They take clips and they try to justify the horrible shit that they get ready to say about somebody. Now, honestly, all I heard was a couple that been together for a long period of time. And no fucking relationship is fucking perfect. Like, you know what I mean? You have ups and downs of relationships. That's how it goes. Right? You know, somebody in a relationship may get too comfortable with certain shit. Right? And another, and we know that women, when they get certain ages, they, you know, they like to experience more. When men get older, men get a little bit more mellow. Now, when we younger, we about the action, right? We about doing certain shit, right? But when we get older, we start to mellow out. So we start taking shit for granted, right? Not even for granted, yet for granted too, but kind of just like, okay, this is how this shit gonna be, right? Because we simple, right? Women like excitement. They like to do different shit. That's, you know what I mean? And when you get too comfortable and a woman do it, yeah, you're gonna have issues. Just the way a motherfucker chew, like it'll bother you. You've been around a motherfucker all day, every day. Right? You know what I mean? Cause like, especially when you got kids change the dynamic of your relationship. So yeah, Megyn Kelly. That happens. If I'm not mistaken, I think Megyn Kelly still got kids in high school or some shit. She got young kids. The Obama kids, and Megyn Kelly's like 50-something years old. So the Obamas, they kids is in college. You get what I mean? And you gotta think about it. They went from having privacy to not having privacy ever a day in their life. Right? They're going to be famous for the rest of their life. Right? So it's a transition with that shit. It's an up and down, but how Megyn Kelly is getting ready to try to do some shit is try to make it seem like she can't stand him or he can't stand. What the fuck are you talking about? And see, when you push that type of energy out there, that shit comes back to you. You wishing people harm and shit like that, and you know, hating and shit. That shit is bad juju. I keep telling people that. But anyway, let's move on.
So let me do my work and let him do our work, and together we come together as whole people.
We could be here all day. I've got 20.
So that's Megyn Kelly there. So anyway, they were talking about this. And it got to a point where D.L. Hughley was calling out the racism in Megyn Kelly. As you guys know, he's actually been on her show. There's a famous clip of them going back and forth. But Megyn Kelly's, these people that think like Santa Claus should be white and all of these different things, that's her, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to play what D.L. had to say in response to that. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show.
The other thing, we argued about this. The other thing I found insulting, I think that the reason that judge put that gag order on everybody was because he knew that if that had gotten out, if that man's mindset, if those things had gotten out, then there would have been a suit for change of venue. Yep. They would have made sure that the jury was more balanced. So there was a reason. That dude, as soon as this trial was over, he went on a 3 hour. He had 3 hours worth of shit to say. He's been on.
He talking about Austin's dad, and I didn't even know that the judge put a gag order. And I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I gotta look more into that because I didn't even know he put a gag order out. For the parents, right? Because you really did, like, it's very highly possible that he did, because you didn't hear from either one of the parents in that whole trial. They didn't even speak about it. They wasn't on the internet. They didn't say shit. So he could have put a gag order on the parents. So yeah, that's crazy. And D.O. kind of right, because if his father was speaking like this before that trial, that's like I said, like, I forgot that when the parents, because they kept Austin parents came out first speaking about this shit way before even Carmelo mother and father parents came out and spoke about it, right? So they was already in the media speaking about it, right? I mean, they literally did a local interview, right? The mother and the son, and then the father, I think he did something, and then when soon they tried to combat that shit, Austin dad popped up at their shit to start trouble. Like, dude, what's your point of being there? But anyway, but yeah, hey, DL might be right. I didn't even know the judge put a gag order out on the parents. Like, honestly, but it makes sense now. But anyway, let's move on.
Megyn Kelly, and the thing about Megyn Kelly had on Russell Brand, who admitted he had sex with a 16-year-old. And you're talking to me about what the fuck is fair? Megyn Kelly got fired basically from NBC because she was a racist. She thought Santa Claus, like all the shit that she's done, it seems disingenuous to have people like that enter the race forward. I will say this, I can both understand that he's a grieving parent and understand that grief may take forms that I don't necessarily understand. But that man is
no, first of all, when you start going down a path of racism and bigotry, your grief don't matter to me. So I highly disagree with DL. I don't understand his grief. Your grief is making you go down the road of being racist. But you say you ain't racist, but you being racist, you saying racist shit? No, I don't understand your grief at this point. My sympathy of him losing a child was gone once he crossed that line of being racist. I gives less fuck how much pain he's in for losing a child. I really don't care at this point. I just don't care. Didn't wish it on him, but I don't really care how he feels. He crossed the line of being racist because of grief. That's like when white people get fucked up and they get angry at black people, they start being racist. And then when they sober up, they say, well, oh no, I'm not a racist. I was just fucked up. No. We're not playing those games. We're not playing those games. Black people have been fucked up plenty of times. And we don't go on racist rants. We don't do that. We don't go on anti-Semitic rants. People talk, oh, well, Kanye West is little local Acapulco. That's something different. But we talking about getting fucked up. You don't see black people getting fucked up and going racist, anti-Semitic, fuck Chinese, fuck the Jews. You don't see people, you don't see us doing that. It's not what we do. But you notice when white people get fucked up and they get in their feelings and they go off on these racist rants. Not all of them, but a majority of them that we have seen. And they probably do. Listen, a lot of times when these people go off on these racist rants, they are in their own personal space feeling this way and saying this shit amongst each other. That's why it doesn't shock me. And I'm not giving them passes because they were drunk or they mourning or some shit like that. I'm not giving you no pass for that. And then try to act like it's the same shit when black people say motherfuckers killed my kid or they did some shit because they was black. That's not the same shit. Because we have the history that backs us up of a lot of shit that we say. And we could be wrong about certain incidents, but 9 out of 10 times, we ain't wrong. Listen, I done seen real parents grieve when their kids get killed. that shit that Austin dad did and still continues to do, he's just a fucking racist. It's got nothing to do with him grieving at this point. You getting backlash of black people telling you this ain't grief. You want some racist shit. You should have shut the fuck up. But he's not. He's continued to go out and say more racist shit. So no, this ain't grieving at this point. Fuck that crack ass cracker. And I don't give a fuck what pain he's in about losing his son. I don't care. When you cross the line of being racist, I don't give a fuck about you. Give a fuck what happens to you or what. Don't wish it on you, but I don't care if it does happen to you. If it happened to you or not, I don't care. Let's move on.
And that he's a grieving parent, and understand that grief may take forms that I don't necessarily understand.
No.
But that man espoused the same racist tropes that anybody does with little or no provocation. And we were talking yesterday, and you were like, he's a father. You know who we didn't hear from? The parents of the child, the 1-year-old child that was gunned down by the police officer. They might have some shit to say. We don't hear anything from them. And it's because it's for effect.
And you know why? It's a story I did. The fucking police shot into a car, and we still don't even know really everything. It was supposed that the parents or one of the parents was stealing Pampers or some shit like that. And Walmart called the police or whatever, and the police, we still don't know why they shot. That's what I said. We don't know shit. And a 1-year-old child was in the car. And a 1-year-old kid is dead. Black child. Like I said, we ain't heard from the parents. We ain't heard shit. See, it's getting back to how shit used to be. But when black people die, nobody gives a fuck. When black children die, nobody cares about it. Now everybody we supposed to give a fuck about when white kids die, which we should. But or white people die. That's all they pushing and promoting now. So that's just what it is at this point. But like I said, we in the times of racist. Racist people feel empowered. Last time you've seen racist white people, excuse me. Last time you seen racist white people feel this empowered was back in the 60s. Civil rights era. This is the last, maybe 60s and 70s. It's the last time you seen that shit. And I know a lot of us wasn't born in, but if you did your history, go back. Do your history. Racist white people was emboldened. But it's almost the same. It's damn near the same. And they're getting away with killing black people at this point. Just like they was doing back in the day. They done bamboozled black people to thinking that this so-called justice system can be fair to us. We got bamboozled for the last 70 years, you might as well say, of this bullshit. Like he killed a child. What the fuck did you see to just start? Like I said, we don't even know the evidence. They ain't even talking about this story. Now, black media, we're talking about it, but mainstream media, CNN, they ain't even talking about this shit. MSNBC, Fox News, ain't nobody talking about it. Megyn Kelly ain't talking about that. But she talking about a piece about black love that she feels that it's over the top, or she just hating on. She don't like it. But a black child just got killed by the police, a 1-year-old. And Megyn Kelly ain't talking about this? But anyway, let's move on.
Parents of the child, the 1-year-old child that was gunned down by the police officer. They might have some shit to say. We don't hear anything from them. And it's because it's for effect. I can both hold the idea in my hand. I am not saying that Carmelo Anthony did or didn't do anything. I am not saying who was guilty or innocent. I am saying the optics of a jury that is made specifically of people, where you deny people the right to get in because you believe.
First of all, listen, he trying to be politically correct to a certain extent, and I get it. Listen, and like I said, I'm just built different, and I'm just built different. Yo, it's very possible you put your hands on somebody, you can get killed. People be trying to pretend like, all he did was just shove him. You don't know who you fucking with. Like, seriously, people need to stop with this bullshit. You put your hands on somebody, you don't know who you putting your hands on. Sometimes you don't know who you stepping to. You don't know who you talking to. You could be talking to a motherfucker that's at the edge on some bowling point shit, even with children. You don't know what people is going through. And so you have to be responsible for your behavior. And listen, condolences, God rest that kid's soul, Austin. Listen, he made a mistake of putting his hands on the wrong person. And listen, and honestly, people, and I don't want to sound nonchalant about this shit, but that's life, bro. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with, but you have all the control in the world of how you interact with people, how you behave a lot of the times, and what you do physically. So, listen, I'm not saying this is supposed to happen to the kid. I'm just saying it just seems like people are not living in real life. Like, you don't know who you fucking with. And for you to, I don't know what the fuck this kid was thinking about. To put his hands on somebody, if you don't know who you fucking with. He probably did that to other people, and it probably was just a fight. He probably bullied the motherfucker, beat him up. In this particular time, hey, he ran into the wrong kid. Then he got his ass stabbed and killed. That's real life. My motto is always this: keep your fucking hands to yourself. Because you don't know what somebody is very possible, what they're capable of doing. My honest opinion, I don't underestimate nobody from doing something physical. Right? You don't know what somebody's capable of fucking doing. And like I said, this kid did that. And like I said, you look at his father, you see kind of how this kid, why he thought the way he thought. But anyway, let's move on.
They can't be fair. And you believe only fairness looks like you. Fair outcomes look like fair skin, apparently. I dismiss that notion out of hand when I know for sure that black people send black people to jail all over the country. And that notion, even in the jury picking process.
Let me just say this, right? To be fair, if I was on that jury with Carmelo, I would at least give him manslaughter. I'd at least did that. And I, you know, and I probably wouldn't, as far as the sentence, I might have gave him 10 to 15. Excuse me. Because somebody is dead. But we done seen people get off for less than that. Like motherfucker, like killed somebody and they intentionally got fucked up and drunk, but of course they weren't in the right state and they killed somebody and they get no time. We have seen that. So I'm looking at this kid could have feared, right? And you gotta understand, motherfuckers didn't try to stop this shit or nothing. They kind of let the shit escalate, right? Like if I'm with like my friends or some shit, like I get it, they kids, I get it. But if I'm with my friend or I'm cool with two people, I'm like, yo, y'all gotta chill out. Whoa, chill out, bro. All right, cool. Yo, he'll leave, but chill out. Like, approach people, I'm like, yo, and I'm telling him, the person I'm cool. That kid that Carmelo sit down with, I put a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot, but I put some responsibility on him. Like, you cool with him too. And then he got on the stand and pretending he didn't know Carmelo. So right there, the jury should have been like, what the fuck is going on here? Somebody lying. So a lot of that testimony from a lot of these people should have been like, what the fuck? Especially when the defense say, you don't know him like that? Yeah, you do. You know him enough that he sat next to you, y'all start speaking. Y'all ate at his girlfriend family house, birthday parties and shit. Like, this case was all fucked up from the jump. And like I said, black people was not going, it didn't sit right with us at that point, because there's one point, because there wasn't no black juries. They ain't even have one. And then they tried to cover it up by having some minorities on there. And we know in the times that we are in, not saying all minorities is racist, but a lot of y'all people are. So that don't make black people feel comfortable with y'all being on juries. You sell your own people out. Why the fuck we don't think you ain't gonna sell us out? Or you hate us. Like, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, let's move on. When the motherfuckers say they didn't let black jurors on because they was educated, was the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. That was the craziest shit I ever heard and seen in my life. We couldn't let these black jurors on. Their excuse was, we couldn't let these black jurors on because they was educators. What? That shit don't even make any sense. But anyway, let's move on.
When I know for sure that black people send black people to jail all over the country. And a part of thing I want to say is when black people do fucked up shit, it's like Diddy. Right? Everybody was like, how the fuck Diddy get ready to come home? Diddy shit, listen, the shit they arrested Diddy for is bullshit. That's why a lot of black people was like, yo, this some fuck shit they doing today. If you ain't charging this nigga for what he did to Cassie, I don't know what the fuck you want us to say. This nigga what? For years we knew in the black community, a lot of us knew that Diddy was bisexual. That don't shock us. Diddy rich. He into watching his woman get fucked. He get turned on. I don't know. That's his thing.
I mean, that's somebody. Listen, shout out to Let's Talk About It podcast. They were talking about when you get a certain type of money, right? They were talking about like 500 million or $1 billion. You done did everything. You done did everything. Seen everything. You done did everything. Fucked everything. Like, you get what I mean? Like, at that point, what would you do? If Bano and Jim Jones was like, man, fuck it. If I'm never rich like that, I mean, I can did everything. I might as well go and smoke some crack. Right? And then it turned into motherfucker offer you 500 million to or $1 billion. Would you do crack? They was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? It's a funny episode. Y'all gotta go watch that, man. That shit be fire. Shout out to Jim Jones, Mano, Davies, and Fab, man. That's like my favorite podcast right now. Like, seriously, like I literally fucks with that podcast. Mano, my dude. I fuck with Mano. Like, that's my guy. But yeah, yo, like, yeah, you gotta like, that's why a lot of black people like, yo, we ain't tripping on that Diddy shit. We mad about that Cassie shit. But if y'all ain't charging with that, nah, nigga, he don't supposed to be locked up for the bullshit y'all found him guilty of through this court system. Bullshit. I don't give a fuck how he mistreated certain people. That ain't what he got charged for. He got charged with like sex trafficking, prostitution, and some shit. Bunch of bullshit. Same shit Hugh Hefner was doing. Having orgies and shit. You ain't never heard about, and we talking about everybody named Mama went to the Playboy Mansion, nigga, from around the country. He was shipping women coast to coast. The reason that he did get away with that shit, and Diddy should have, thought about this shit, nigga, just do it in Vegas. You can't listen. In Vegas is different. Prostitution is down there basically legal in Vegas, right? But I don't want to see Diddy locked up for sex trafficking these women. Talking about they was getting drugged. What the fuck you think? You gotta be a little high to do some of the shit all of them was doing. Even Diddy had to be fucked up. He ain't that. He ain't that evil, bro. Diddy ain't that damn evil. He had to get fucked up too to do a lot of the fucked up shit he was doing. All this shit was to embarrass this dude and take him down a notch, because I believe Diddy was most likely transforming himself. Because once you get older, like I said, yo, it's like somebody that, you got all the money in the world. You did everything. At a certain point, what the fuck else you supposed to do? Right? Like, you can fuck anything. You can get any woman you damn near want. Right? You know what I mean? At this point, you ain't tricking. Right? You ain't a trick. You pay for pussy. Right? You trying to help women come up. Like, at this point, or you just want to fuck that woman. Hey, yo, what else could you do being rich like that? Honestly. Freak off. Like, what the fuck? Now, today to charge them for the Cassie shit, I'd have been like, okay. Send his ass to jail. Hey, come on, bro. Free Diddy, nigga. I'm on that, nigga. Everybody want to turn their back on Diddy and shit. Listen, he was a bad businessman. He did some horrible shit. It's some shit that we probably won't know that he did. That's only for God to judge. But the shit that he in jail for is bullshit. Sorry. I'm not feeling that. I'm still rocking Diddy shit, nigga. I'm still listening to Diddy. Fuck we talking about here. And let me be very, very clear about this. I'm not going to try to tell a victim what they should do because Cassie is a victim. But Cassie, when Diddy come home, don't do that. Don't do that because at a certain point, and I said this to my wife, listen, a lot of that shit that they charged Diddy for and all that shit, listen, she was with a lot of that shit. She was with a lot of that shit. You can't tell a person, you know, as far as abuse and shit like that, like, but that's why I don't want to shit on Cassie like that, because, you know, if this nigga got her addicted to drugs and he did that, which I believe he did, that's why I say it's shit that Diddy could have been locked up for, bro. You get what I mean? But they didn't charge that nigga with that shit. But anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, dude.
Look like fair skin, apparently. I dismiss that notion out of hand when I know for sure that black people send black people to jail all over the country. And that notion, even in the jury picking process, biases introduce themselves. Yep. Like Megyn Kelly got fired. But basically they couldn't explain her racism. And she's the one who's interviewing it. You talking to me about crime and you interviewing a pedophile. Yeah. Russell Brand admitted to having, and you acted like I've never seen. There was a decided difference between the way Gayle King
interviewed. No. First of all, listen. Let me just say something, because Megyn Kelly, when that Epstein shit was coming out, and it was before she turned on Trump, I guess. But that shit, I don't believe none of that shit. These people turned on Trump. They was acting like she actually justified Epstein of fucking with young girls, children. I'm sorry. She was saying it ain't like they was 10 or under 10 or something. They was 8, 9, 10 years old. She was like, they was 14, 15, 16 years old. What? So, like, I always keep telling people at this point, like, yo, when you hear shit like that out of people's mouth, right? I have no more respect for you at that point. Your point's not even valid. When you start defending pedophiles, like, what we talking about here, bro? Like, rapists and pedophiles is the worst people to me in the world. Because you can justify murder in so many ways, like, you know, standing your ground, or you felt threatened, right? Or, you know, for me, I just feel like sometimes, because I'm a spiritual dude, sometimes it just be your time to go. It doesn't matter how you go, but it may be that's how it's supposed to go, right? So you can justify that shit in a way, right? But murder is still fucked up. But being a pedophile and a rapist is the worst shit in the world to me. More than a racist. Like, honestly, I don't give a fuck who you are, what color skin you are, what religion, what gender you are. If you a fucking rapist or pedophile, you the worst of the, like, goddamn. The devil got into you for real, for real. even when it's justified in a way like you can understand why people turn. I understand why people turn into pedophiles. Don't get me wrong, right? But that don't justify it. You can understand why they wound up turning into pedophiles. It makes sense, but you don't justify that shit. Listen, people, I would not be shocked, right, for Trump, right, that he mistreat women like he does and how he, sexually assault women and, look at little girls, young girls the way he do, young girls. I wouldn't be shocked that his mom didn't touch him back in the day. I'm not saying that, but it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. It's some type of woman or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Because usually when men turn into pedophiles or rapists of women, right? That's a female took advantage of them. It's not a male. When dudes rape other men or shit like that, yeah, these motherfuckers got molested by a man. It's very rare that a male that got raped by a male and start fucking with young girls or raping little girl or molesting little girls or raping women or some shit. It's very rare of that, right? Like you might run into a type that don't give a fuck. They just rape anything, right? Girls and boys and men and women. It's very rare of that, right? But that's like a process of years and years of going in and just accepting who they are, right? So they don't give a fuck. Right, and it could be even being in prisons for a certain period of time, right? So, yeah, but that shit is rare. But usually when men molest little girls, it's usually because a woman in their family molested them. Honestly, ain't got nothing to do a lot of times with them being molested by a man or some shit like that, or you know what I mean? Honestly, it's very rare. Like I told y'all, I did a psychology on women that be messing with the young boys and shit, right? That shit ain't got nothing to do with y'all think it really is. When you see them teachers, them young teachers and young women teachers or them teachers older or whatever, however it is, it ain't got nothing to do with them being molested. Honestly, it don't. It's the environment, right? Like when shit that we would say like a motherfucker too young to be doing, they did it, right? So say like if the teacher or whoever was young, right? When they was young, they probably was fucking with older people. It's in the environment they seen. They don't see nothing wrong with it. It's like kind of normalized. So they get raised. They think that they know it's wrong, but then they don't think it's wrong. They don't know. They confused about it. So when you see a lot of women fucking with young boys and shit, and school teachers and shit, that shit, like, that's why I said, like, that's an environment thing. That's not like some shit they got molested and no shit like that. That's an environment thing. They don't think there's nothing really that wrong with it. They really don't. Right? They know it's wrong, but to them it's kind of not. It's hard to like kind of understand in a way if you don't understand the psychology of women molesting young boys and shit, you don't understand it. Like if you don't have you didn't research or you didn't study this shit, you couldn't understand what I'm saying. But a lot of these women, they have been molested, bro. A lot of them, it's right rare that they got molested and they do that shit. But it's really because it's just a culture thing. It's a culture thing. When women molest young boys and have sex, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's move on.
Viewing and pedophile.
Yeah.
Russell Brand admitted to having, and you acted like I've never seen. There was a decided difference between the way Gayle King interviewed somebody who was suspected of a pedophile and the way she did.
So I'm like, look at R. Kelly and Gayle King.
Yeah,
you
remember
can
that
tell
one.
who
Right.
can and cannot be biased
Right.
at times, yo.
Right.
One person is like, I'm fighting for my life. The other one is like, yeah, so I did a 16-year-old.
Oh,
That's
okay.
interesting.
Every day is an opportunity. Every moment a chance to grow. I'm fueled.
Yeah,
So you heard
My bad, people. Now, let me say this. When it comes to the Gayle King ain't shit, just like with Oprah ain't shit. Right? I think they're coons in a way that they in that white space where they ain't been around real black people in a long time. Right? So they don't really understand that they're using black pain to keep their fame and make money. They don't get it. I think at this point they just like I don't even think they understand coonery, that they doing coonery. Honestly, I believe especially Gayle and Oprah. I don't really think they know at this point, right? Because they've been rich for so long, right? Now, the difference of what Gayle King did to R. Kelly. Everybody kind of knew R. Kelly did what he did. Like, a lot of black people knew. Like, we knew. Like, I don't think a lot of black people got upset with Gayle King because of that. Right? Like, we was just upset at her. Why every time somebody black does something wrong, you got to be interviewing them? I think that was our issue. Right? It wasn't, the way how people try to put it out there. We weren't mad at her for that. R. Kelly, listen, come on, man. It's R. Kelly, people. Come on, man. It's almost like the OJ shit, right? With like R. Kelly. R. Kelly is like OJ does, right? Yeah. You finally got caught, nigga. We all knew you did this shit. Now, come on. You got away with it and you got off and nigga, you still kept doing it. Like, nigga, we come on, man. What do you want us to do? Listen, at this, I tell people, I speak for me, but I can speak for a lot of black folks. Listen, at this point, R. Kelly, nigga, we look at you like OJ. Like, nigga, you got away with it the first time. Why would you? You get what I mean? And like I said, I look at that pedophilia shit much worse than the murder for me. Because we still don't know why OJ did what he did. We just don't. We don't know why he murdered him. But come on, R. Kelly, bro. You got away with it the first time, and then you go back. You still can. Come on, bro. Nah. Fuck out of here. That's why at this point, when some black people be like, yo, we not listening to his shit. I'm not mad at those black folks. We not supporting. I get it. I'll listen to R. Kelly because some fact I'll do what the racist white people do. I'm petty in that way. Nigga, if they still listen to Elvis and Elvis still the king, then R. Kelly is okay with me. How you can get mad at me? So Elvis wasn't. Elvis wasn't a pedophile, and y'all let him get away with that shit. But Jack Johnson was just fucking with a white girl back in the day, and this nigga went to prison. Yeah, all right, okay, cool. What's the Priscilla? I think that's her name. Go look how old that woman is, and go look how old Elvis is. Research it. Come on, man. And she stopped fucking with Elvis because of a drug. You know, he was on them drugs. She didn't stop fucking with him because he was fucking other women. She stopped fucking with him because he was a drug addict. He was, fucking with that sugar book. So listen, I say this, until they denounce Elvis Presley, until they denounce, say they did not fuck with Elvis, denounce him for being a pedophile, until they do that, I'm still going to continue I'm going to denounce R. Kelly, but I'm still going to listen to the music. I'm going to separate it. Because they ignoring that Elvis was a pedophile. These are facts. Listen, people, I always have a problem with, just imagine you a father. Right? I'm thinking as a father, I'm thinking as a man. I'm literally a motherfucker that's 25 years old, want to come, or how old, you in your 20s, you want to come fuck with my daughter that's 15, 16 years old, that I support. I'm the one, paying all the bills, keeping food on the table, get her hair done, all that shit. And now you want to come and be her daddy? Like, just think about that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what the laws is, Tennessee, some of these. I don't care, bro. Now you gonna take my daughter and do what? Because you attracted. Never mind. That shit, listen, I always say that shit is weird. What father in their right mind be okay with that? I understand other cultures outside I get all that bullshit. That's still bullshit to me, because I can break that shit down into that shit is bullshit. That's pedophile shit. That's generation of pedophile and shit. But yo, as an American, yo, get the fuck out of here. That shit ain't cool, bro. People sitting there acting like that shit, your daughter 15, 16 years old, 14, and you motherfuckers okay with that? Yeah, all right. Ain't no money in the world, bro. I'd rather keep working till I'm 70 years old or some shit like that to allow my daughter to go get married to another motherfucker so he can. I'm going to take care of her. I don't give a fuck what you going to do. I'll take care of her now. The fuck you talking about? Nigga, I would listen. You gotta think about. I wouldn't be a parent if I didn't fight back against that shit. You're a parent. Say she just gonna do what she gonna do anyway. I don't give a fuck what she gonna do. All I know is that I'm gonna continue to put that shit on blast. Like, yeah, there's certain shit you can't do, but I will make that motherfucker life uncomfortable. I'll put that motherfucker on blast. This motherfucker's a pedophile. Like, seriously, bro. Like, why would you want to even do that? I'm in love. How you gonna be in love with a child? Fuck out of here. Listen, I told y'all. Listen, fucking something young, I get it. Like, when you get older, like you older person, you want to fuck something in your 20s, 30s. I get that. You 40, 50 years, I get it. You know, you get up. But to have a relationship with somebody that damn young like that, man, get the fuck out of here, man. That shit is weird. Because, listen, if you don't know, if an older person, regardless if they're a man or a woman, they are very more in control of that relationship than the young person. It's very rare that the young person that they're dealing with, you know, got control. People be sitting there with that bullshit. That shit is weird, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You fucking with somebody young like that, unless you're just having sex with them, I get them. I get that. You get older, I understand it. But to have a relationship with somebody that young, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like the fuck, listen. I used to say it's a 10-year thing. I can do a 10-year thing to be in a relationship. I can't do a 10-year thing. It had to be at least 5. I can't do 10 years. You get what I mean? I can't do 10 years, bro. 5 is even pushing it for me to fuck with a chick 5 years younger than me. I'm so mature and fucking advanced of morally, like, you get what I mean? Listen, it's very rare you find somebody young like that to be on the same page as you. But nah, bro, I wouldn't fuck with nobody that young like that. I don't even think 10 years. I couldn't fuck with nobody 10 years younger than me. And like I said, it even depends how old you are, right? Like, now, if say you 70 and the motherfucker 60 something, maybe, right? But even when you 60, fucking with somebody that's 50, it's not the same. Not now in this day and age. A 50-year-old woman? Oh shit. Nigga, she on something, nigga. She trying, listen, she out here trying to fuck something young, and she, like, what they call it, that shit? The women getting their peak or some shit. Like, women be on something else different, bro. And it's not even just sexually. They just be on some other different shit when they get ready, when they hit 45 and 50. They just on some different shit. And I'm not saying all women is like that at that age, but a lot of women are like that. They get about 40, 50 years old, they on some other shit. That's why they like fucking with young niggas like that. And there's a difference. When older women want to fuck with young dudes, it's sexual. It got nothing to do with finances or none of that bullshit. It's sexual. It's about exciting. You know, you know, they got energy to keep up with them. It ain't nothing. Ain't no love there, bro. It's all, that shit is just sexual and exciting, being excited. But when dudes fuck with young girls and shit like that, that's why, because at that point when you old like that, you kind of understand shit. You have more wisdom, right? When you young, you ain't got no damn wisdom. When you old, you got wisdom. So, and you slow down. When you get older, when men get older, we slow down. We're not the same. You know what I mean? When women they get older and shit, they get more, you know, they want to see more. They want to do more. Men get older, they don't want to do shit. Nigga, we already simple from the beginning, even when we young. But you know, all of that exciting shit, that's just testosterone. Like we just, you know what I mean? That's all that shit is. When we wild like that, when we young and we, you know, that's just testosterone. But that shit goes away real quick. Once you get older, that shit goes away. It's like I said, it's very rare you catch men still on that type of shit when they get old like that. But and like I said, it depends circumstances. If they got money, or they in a certain situation where that shit is normal to them, they keep rocking like that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, money and fame and certain positions that you in life, some dudes can live like that. They can live like bachelors. You know, some people are okay with not being in. Some dudes can be okay with not being in relationships, right? They just can. And the same thing with women too. But it's very rare for women. Women like relationships. I always tell people when relationships, a lot of divorce rates and people not being in relationships, they not being in relationships is because of women. Women, they just got this thing about them that way, like they like excitement, right? Like that's what they into. They don't like all this you know, they like only time when a woman, like even when women get older, right? Women usually they good being by themselves once they get older, right? They get a certain age when they looks go away, when they feel like, all right, this the end. Like it's a certain age where they get, right? But if they women's like in their 40s and 50s and early 60s and shit, like they still think they, you know, they got a chance off this bitch. Honestly. You know what I mean? About it's around like early 60s, mid 60s, where women kind of figured that, you know, they can live alone. Women can live alone. Men can't. That's why I always tell people. I always tell men be very, very careful of being in relationships. Because once that woman figures you out, she know everything about you. So now, at a certain point, you can't even lie to her no more. Or to get away with certain shit, you can't. Because she know everything about you. She know when you lie. She know when you on some bullshit. Just your movements. Just what you are doing and we're not doing. She know everything. Because that she been trying to figure your ass out from the beginning. So, especially if it's a long-term relationship. So, yeah, I always tell men, be very, very careful of falling in love. Honestly. I ain't saying men should be out here treating women like shit, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be out here playing, be a player. But have some respect with it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, but be very careful of getting in relationships with women. It ain't what you think. Like once a woman figure you out, they it ain't nothing you can do. All you gotta, it's almost like they conquer you in a way. Because they know every fucking thing about you. So you can't lie, you can't make certain mistakes and shit like that. Like shit is weird. But yeah, you gotta at a certain point, you gotta take control back too. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of like stand on your own shit. Let me see. I thought I had one more up in here. But that's the type of shit Megyn Kelly was on. Hold on, let me see if I can find that fucking clip, that whole clip. Megyn Kelly show. See if I can find it.
Megyn Kelly Show.
Hold on. Megyn Kelly talking about the Obamas.
Megyn Kelly talking about the Obamas.
Hold on. See if I can find that. No, that's not it. I think this might be it right here. Yeah, it is it. All right, here it is. So we can really hear her speak her racist shit. Well, I ain't listen. It's racist shit, but it's just hating shit for me. I just hear hate. How you gonna be mad at love, nigga? Even if I'm in a bad space with my wife or whatever, nigga, why would I hate on love, nigga? Should be crazy. Let me see if we got we're in the right spot.
Wait, not done.
It's not done.
To witness. Here's the truth.
There we go.
She's making us all hot and bothered. Here's the truth about their relationship. Let's run our little montage.
One word to describe your next chapter. One word.
Let's go for it. There we go.
We could be here all day. I've got 20 more.
That's awesome.
So I feel we've been misled by People magazine, guys. What do you make of it?
You've made Tom's day, Megyn. Yeah. All right,
Right in
Tom.
Tom's alley with the media.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've written a couple profiles.
I'm looking at these old ass white men, right? They got to at least be in a late 50s, 60s, and I could be wrong, right? Because white people age bad, right? They just do, right? No disrespect to all white people, but you know, y'all age bad, right? So this one dude, he listen, he got to be at least in his late 60s. The other dude is, listen, you know the bad part about it? A lot of times you can't even tell how old these dudes are. Now you would think these dudes are probably in their 60s, right? And they probably be 55 or some shit, or they just turned 50, or, you know what I mean? So you couldn't tell a lot of times with some of these people, some of these white people, but like the nerve of these people, like let's just say they even in a relationship. Megyn Kelly's in a relationship. Why are you hating on somebody's love? Like that's what's bothering me about it. Like why are you hating on that? Like I get it, you don't like the Obamas. I get it. You're like, and I get it on the part that why you hating, because you are a racist, and that's what racists do. They hate, right? They haters. So I get that, but you claim that you're not a racist, right? What are you hating on love for? You claim you're in a loving marriage, right? Why are you hating on somebody else's love? But anyway, let's move on.
You've made Tom's day, Megyn. Yeah. All right,
Right in
Tom.
Tom's alley with the media.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've written a couple profiles over the years, and I can tell you if I turned anything that sounded like that to Carl, he would throw it straight in the trash. I mean, so ridiculous. But look, on one hand, it's not surprising. The Obamas have always gotten this unbelievably adoring press coverage, even from like the quote unquote hard news. I mean, you remember.
He's saying they always got this, because they ain't do shit. Name a scandal, and I'm just talking about the family, other than the shit with the pastor, right? Or the conspiracy theories that came out talking about Barack Obama was in a gay relationship, or the conspiracy shit that y'all continue to push or ignore or don't speak up against, you racist pieces of shit. about Michelle Obama being a man? Like, what scandal? Of course they gonna listen. These are the perfect black people that you will ever see. And since Martin Luther King and them, they had shit on Martin Luther King or Martin Luther King with fucking holes and shit back in the day. And I ain't gonna say hoes, other women. And this nigga was pushing for black people to have rights and everybody that was minorities, even white women. And I'm supposed to be mad because he cheated? If Coretta Scott King wasn't upset about it, the fuck I'm gonna be upset about it. And God rest her soul. A beautiful woman. Beautiful black woman. Black sister. She's just as important as Martin Luther King was, nigga. Fuck out of here. What we talking about? So I'm gonna be mad because he cheated? Y'all elected a motherfucker that got convicted civilly for raping a woman. Sexually assaulting a woman. And admitted that he went into teens' locker rooms because he could, because he was the host, he was the owner, he owned it, so he could do whatever the fuck he want. And y'all want to tell me about Martin Luther King? Because he cheated? And we know that Trump cheated on his wife when she was pregnant or having birth or whatever it was and paid the porn star. He fucking porn stars. What we talking about here? Anyway, let's move on. These people are unbelievable. These racists, they have no morals, and that's the crazy shit about it.
The Obamas have always gotten this unbelievably adoring press coverage, even from like the quote unquote hard news. I mean, you remember, who was it? It was somebody from the Chicago Tribune who asked him this, ridiculous question after he got reelected about what a, great person he was and all these things. He
Don't leave Chris Matthews out.
Steve Croft?
Yeah, Chris. Oh, yeah, God. I mean, you could go on and on, and then you go to sort of the fluffier, magazines like Vogue and People, and it's just
And think about it. They're just angry because they don't have anything on the Obamas. They can't talk about nothing. They just say, oh, these people just doing these fluffy interviews about him. And then he even said, like, even the tough, interviewers or people that might not, like Obama, they still gave him props. They still show love to him. But everybody else did conspiracy theories against him, against the family. They're still doing it. And they still stand on business. They don't let that shit get to them. Yeah, don't get it wrong, it bothered them. But they ain't gonna let y'all see them sweat. They know this shit bigger than them. That's why they don't let that, you don't see Michelle and Barack go ham like that. They know it's bigger than these racists. This shit is about our people. They trying to show our people like, hey, this is what we do. That's why I say I don't even let these racists bother me like that. Because of Michelle and Barack. Like, nigga, I brushed that shit off with a lot of this shit. I expect it from you. You racists. It's like this shit now, I expect this. But my problem is, you not saying nothing. You're not telling us what they did wrong. They did nothing wrong. You just don't like the piece. Okay. Did they lie? Did you say the woman lied? Maybe you can say she They ain't even saying she over-exaggerated it. They basically said, we just don't like the piece. making it seem the Obamas is good people like that. You mad because they good people? And look, a lot of black people, even me, we got our issues with Barack and Michelle. But nigga, at the end of it, at the core of this shit, at their core, I believe they good people. What the fuck you can say bad about them? They try to, Barack Obama had no baby mamas on the side, none of that shit. And they try to bring up a gay lover. A made up gay lover. In college. Just some crazy shit they tried to do. They don't do the whole documentary on that shit. The conspiracy theory shit. That's why when Cat Williams say, if you ever a black person that's perfect, these are the motherfuckers you fuck with. You ain't never heard nothing about the Obamas. Not even their kids. Well, they smoke cigarettes, so George Bush kids was getting drunk and doing coke. What the fuck we talking about here? Come on, man. Anyway, people, give me 1 second. All right, people, I'm back. Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. How they trying to like make some shit up. Like they mad at some shit that you can't. Like I don't even understand. You get mad at somebody for something that they just good people. Like I just don't get it, bro. But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, yeah, God. I mean, you can go on and on. And then you go to sort of the fluffier, magazines like Vogue and People, and it's just it's ridiculous and it's over the top. I mean, obviously, to the point that the montage you just played, there's a bunch of evidence suggesting that it's not all just butterflies and rainbows and unicorns for their fun. Yeah, I know, right?
I gotta say this. I'm starting to like her more and more because it's like a housewife show. It's like she's the Housewives of Chicago or something. I mean, that kind of in your face, wagging the finger. I mean, come on, it's reality TV.
And listen, you know how bad it gotta be, right, for these people to get up here and be speaking about the Obamas, about just their relationship, right? Of a piece, right? Because it ain't nothing bad you can say about them other than to be racist and bigoted, right? But Trump got all this horrible shit you can say about him. and they ignore it. They just literally ignore this man is known for cheating on all his wives. You can't say that about Barack. You can't say Barack, he got a scandal of saying, you know, oh, a woman came out and said he sexually assaulted them. An allegation. And even an allegation came out. Just imagine that. Get in the mind of these stupid, ignorant ass racists. They're really upset about a piece about black love. No scandal. They just don't like that. They picking up the Obamas like that. They make it seem like they, you know, these so much good people, you know, their relationships are great. When you can't, they're not speaking about anything wrong that the Obamas did. They can't speak about a scandal. Not one. This is not even about politics. This is about a relationship that they had. But Eric, you know, all the fucked up shit Trump did, Melania don't even be in the White House. She doesn't even be there. Other than when she's requested to be there. Come on, bro. What we talking about here? You mad at love? Like at this point, these racists, all you hearing them, they mad at love. And the reason they mad at love because they black. That's how racist they are. Because they don't got nothing. Just you listening to them, they ain't saying shit. Anyway, let's move on.
Andy's doing the finger lift. I've never seen that before. Carl, it's as if that were not insulting enough, that what I just read to you. They have these pictures of the two of them, and the captions are just as inane as the writing in the piece. So they're a bunch of them sort of, you know, fawning at each other. Embracing at the Obama Center. The formal pose. Smiling for the camera. Top of the tower. Leaning on the rail. Why is this in a caption in a magazine? In the 18th.
Because they are famous. And the only reason you think about what this racist bitch is saying. You mad at photos, bitch? Megyn Kelly, you racist bitch. You mad at photos. It's his Obama Center. It's they shit. They gonna take photos. He's famous. Everybody and their mama damn near was at that shit. That opening. What are you talking about? Trump take propaganda photos all the time. You don't say nothing about that. The problem is, I keep saying, I'm going to say it again. They mad at the Obamas because they black. And then on top of them being black, it's no scandal. It's nothing there. When you speak about the Obamas, what is there? What is there? For either one of them. For Miss Michelle Obama or Barack or Mr. Obama. What is it? You can't speak on a scandal. There's no scandal. Even their kids. It's not even a scandal there. The fuck are we talking about? These motherfuckers are mad at photos. Come on, bro. I told y'all, imagine the racism and the bigotry that the Obamas was getting when Barack became the president and Michelle became the first lady. You got to go back and look at that shit. People go, oh, they got Trump, the reins. They talking about Trump. Trump did this shit to himself. Obamas didn't do shit but be presidential. They understood the position they was in. They didn't do shit, bro. They was making up shit. They got conspiracy theories still to this day. They still calling this woman a man, believing that she's still a man, a conspiracy theory. Because they don't got nothing on these people. They got nothing on these brothers and sisters. They just mad. This bitch is literally, Megyn Kelly, this racist bitch is literally on her show showing photos of how happy they look. Listen, that's how you know she a racist. And the people that's with her, what are y'all mad about? The fuck are you mad about? Let's move on, bro. Let's move on.
The formal pose, smiling for the camera, top of the tower, leaning on the rail. Why is this in a caption in a magazine? In the atrium, the cover shot. This is like a photographer's notes to himself about what each of these is a candidate for. You know, like it's short form. It's the one where they're on the rail. It somehow made it into People magazine as the official caption. Leaning on the rail, as though we're supposed to appreciate this as like a work of art. They leaned.
Listen, let me say this, man, Kelly. Let me say this, because we know you're a racist, and I can speak for the majority of black people. We don't give a fuck. You don't like the photos, bitch. You don't think black people. You think black people should be slaves and bowing down to people like you when you are beneath Obama and his wife. You're not even on the same level as them to be even talking about them. They both are lawyers. You're a lawyer, they both are lawyers. Barack ran for Senate. He's been in politics, as a community leader, all that shit. He's been on every level. You just a lawyer that came into politics, and not saying you don't know what you're talking about. You're not good at it, but you know what you're talking about. I ain't say you know what you're talking about. You understand politics. You ain't good at it. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you mad at that. What the fuck is she so upset at these pictures and Barack Obama and Michelle Obama love for? But I told y'all, when you are a racist, you hate everything that is black. When you hate black people, you hate everything they do. Ain't no way, yo, you mad about this shit. Ain't no way she did a segment about this. To be upset, and then you had these dumbass, goofy, out of touch ass white men that's racist sitting there. Yeah, we get it, man. This ain't right. Yeah, I don't like it either. What? And they ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying that this only thing they saying was wrong. They don't like the pictures. They didn't say that Barack and them did anything wrong. They took the pictures. They mad at the pictures. They mad how the Obamas is presented. Yeah, they great people. Regardless of what your racist ass think. I'm gonna tell you what even coon niggas and other racist people, not all, but a lot, some of them, they get upset about certain black people when they're respected. That's why they mad at the Obamas, nigga. They respect it. I don't have to agree with everything with Barack did his presidential shit. I thought he should have did more. That's what, I get it. Right? But, nigga, at the end of the day, he the first black president. What the fuck are we talking about here? Yes, he could have did more. But like I said, it'd be a lot of motherfuckers that ain't never been in that position or wouldn't want to take that position to tell another black man what they should and shouldn't have did. There's a certain type of level that you motherfuckers keep talking about. Or not, I'm saying not talking about, but not understanding. You ain't never been in that position. How the fuck you know how to handle that? I believe Barack and Michelle handled themselves the best way they could. Yes, I believe could they do more? Yeah. But I have empathy and sympathy and understanding that, nigga, if you did your history, you knew what they took Michelle and Barack through. Come on, bro. We lucky Barack ain't snap on these motherfuckers. Some of us wanted him to snap, but he didn't. And shout out to him. So I look at Michelle and Barack of having, like, I watch them to have self-control. Because the shit they've been through, some of you niggas can't really genuinely understand what they went through, bro. Come on, bro. I give the Obamas the respect that they deserve, bro. Fuck out of here. We can feel how we feel. They could have did more. Yeah, all right, that's cool. That's amongst us. But outside of that, we ain't letting nobody disrespect the Obamas. Obamas is on that level. That family is on a level of saying we don't disrespect of Michael Jackson, Whitney. That's on that level, nigga. We don't let people disrespect them. Auntie Patty. Like, ain't nobody disrespect Auntie Patty LaBelle like that. Fuck out of here, bro. And certain motherfuckers, we ain't letting no Martin Luther King. We ain't letting people disrespect that. That's why when people say, don't keep speaking on Martin Luther King and you don't stand for what Martin Luther King stand for, because we know white people that actually stand for that type of shit. So if you ain't really stand for it, don't speak on Martin Luther King. Don't bring his name up. Fuck out of here. Malcolm X, same shit. Fuck out of here. Certain motherfuckers you can't disrespect if you ain't our people. You can't disrespect certain motherfuckers if you ain't our people. Fuck out of here. We sick of that shit.
No. Why is this in a caption in a magazine? In the atrium, the cover shot. This is like a photographer's notes to himself about what each of these is a candidate for. You know, like it's short form. What's the one where they're on the rail? But somehow made it into People magazine as the official caption. Leaning on the rail, as though we're supposed to appreciate this as like a work of art. They leaned, Carl, they leaned right after they were in the atrium as they passed through the Hope and Change lobby, which is the thing.
Well, I was thinking of that. So these two don't seem to have any illusions. I don't know how they got this right the way she did, but the other day, and he was asked Obama in a friendly interview. They're all friendly.
I know he ain't just say what I thought.
They were in the atrium as they passed.
I know he ain't just say what I thought he said. But anyway, hopefully I hear it right.
The Hope and Change lobby, which is the thing.
Well, I was thinking of that. So these two don't seem to have any illusions. I don't know how they got this right the way she did, but. The other day, and he
said they cheated. What they cheat about? What? I swore that's what he said, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's move on. This shit is just crazy. Imagine you being black, bro, and you black excellence. They can't say shit about you. You do everything 95% right. There's a 5% you can criticize me on, but the 5% they ain't even criticizing you on. They criticizing some weak shit, some shit that like it shouldn't even be that big of a deal. I look good. My marriage is intact. Like it's shit that like what the fuck are you hating on that for? Imagine that. And the Obamas went through that shit for not even for 8 years. They've been going through that shit since Barack became the president. What? 20-something years. Then almost goes to 20 years. Almost goes to it. They just hating for nothing. These racists just hating for nothing. The fuck are you hating for? Let's move on.
Which is the thing.
Well, I was thinking of that. So these two don't seem to have any illusions. I don't know how they got this right the way she did. But the other day, and he was asked Obama in a friendly interview. They're all friendly, as Tom pointed out. What do you do, to relax and recharge you? And Obama, tried to think of something profound. Michelle wasn't having shoes. He golfs. That's what he does. And so I think they know who they are. And as you're reading that, I had this picture in my mind, Megyn, of those two meeting at dinner. What they've been apart.
Listen, sometimes if you in tune with the person that you in tune with, they know you better than you know yourself. Right? So Michelle came out and said, oh, he golf. He was probably thinking like, what really like, because golf for him may not be what Michelle think that what comes in. Right? But from her perspective of knowing him as long as she known him, she think it's golf. He probably trying to think like what really like, because men are different too, right? Like our mellow is different than women, right? So what they perceive, which is mellow for us, right? It might not be golf. He might just enjoy playing golf. It might not mellow him as much as you think, right? Because it's still competition. Right? So your juices get to running through any type of like shit like that where like you kind of you kind of going at it with somebody, right? So for him it might be different. But she like they just sitting there and like, oh, they don't get it, but the reason they get it is just they're saying what they're saying because they are fucking racist. They trying to find any and everything to be upset at the Obamas. And usually, listen, in a marriage, usually the woman that's especially a strong black woman, they usually kind of like know you better than you. They know you better than you know yourself. Just real shit. That's why they, even if they don't know fully, right? But they can speak on things because they in tune with who you are and what you do. They're more in tune in who you are than you are. Because that woman cares. That the woman might care more about you than you care about yourself. All right? Not saying you don't care about yourself, but they care a little bit more than you do. Because certain shit don't bother you. Certain shit, you just brush it off. You do what you do. You live like you don't have cares. And a lot of times when men don't have cares, it's because they know they woman cares about the shit that they don't care about. When we should probably care about it, right? So yeah. But anyway, let's move on.
profound. Michelle was having shoes. He golfs. That's what he does. And so I think they know who they are. And as you're reading that, I had this picture in my mind, Megyn, of those two meeting at dinner. They've been apart all day long. And she's reading it, and they're both laughing. And she said it makes her so amused. She says he can have a cigarette after dinner. It's okay because how did he get this? How did he charm this woman to write this stuff? And he says, "Really, can I have a cigarette?" And he's smoking, and they're laughing about this piece the way we are now. So maybe I don't think they have any illusions, is what I'm trying to say.
Onboard new hires in just 90 seconds. Fill out a few details.
Say.
I know this is like a fun parlor game.
Right.
But
And the crazy shit about it, I actually agree with the dude. They don't have illusions of who they are. The problem is y'all sitting there, y'all talking about this shit of like, number one, you ain't the Obamas. Right? That's number one. Right? And you ain't dealing with what they deal with. None of us. Even as black folks, we ain't dealing with what they dealing with. Yo, this is the fucking Obamas, bro. Yo, they are famous. They gonna be famous for the rest of their life. They are gonna get criticism. They gonna get everything in life. So nigga, they deal with shit that we don't even really deal with. And they got and they damn near gotta be borderline perfect. Not to make certain mistakes. Or say certain just say some shit. They gotta watch what they say all the time. And like I always told some black folks, like, stop pretending that you niggas really get that. If you ain't on no moral level like that, you don't move like that. Stop pretending you understand how motherfuckers gotta stand on certain shit or they gotta move. Because if you don't have, you pick and choose your morals. Right? I believe a lot of us do. We all, even myself, we all pick and choose morals that we want to stand on. But these Obamas, they gotta be that. And we can like it or not like it, but they gotta be that. And so for you to criticize that nigga, if you in that position, and listen, I always tell people this, right? Listen, I love my people more than I love my people, right? I can't come on here all the time and pretend about certain shit, right? If I'm not living that type of life, I can't be speaking to y'all about certain shit. So I talk about flaws I got. I talk about certain shit, my personality, how shit be, right? Some shit is personal, of course, but I'm usually an open book. I'm 95% open book. It's that 5% I'm not, because some shit you can't speak on certain shit, right? But I can't come here and be speaking about some shit that I ain't standing on business with. I gotta keep some morals there. And so for motherfuckers to be like sitting there like, and it's different. These are the Obamas. I'm talking about me. So like the Obamas, nigga, they gotta keep a certain type of fucking moral principle of what they do. They're not just representing themselves, nigga. They representing us. And that's how I look at a lot of shit. Like, that's why I move the way I do. Or stand on certain shit that I stand on. I don't fuck with certain people. Because, nigga, I don't represent just myself. I represent others. Shout out to my brother Game in the building. What up, Game? But yeah, man. Motherfuckers be sitting there, they like, if you ain't standing for shit, you can't talk about the Obamas. You can't talk about people that stand on business. They in a different type of atmosphere. Niggas are sitting there and be like, oh, yeah, they seem phony. They seem that. Nigga, Or what? You ain't even the same breakfast dinner or what they got to deal with every day. You motherfuckers is just be on the internet, or you just a voter, right? Like a lot of us are. I'm trying to act like I'm more important, but I'm just saying, like, nigga, I hold my morals. My morals is what they are, and when I start fucking with my morals or shit, I start fucking up on certain shit, nigga. I gotta check myself. A lot of motherfuckers don't check themselves. They just go off on fuck shit. Fuck their morals. That's just how I feel. A lot of times, I feel a lot of ways. That don't mean it's right. Motherfuckers be just sitting out there, just I feel this way, and then try to, try to mix it in. Oh, it's my morals. No, it ain't your morals, nigga. You feel that way. Because feeling a certain type of way and standing on morals are two different things. But anyway, let's move on.
Honestly, Tom, can you imagine this ever being done for Donald and Melania Trump?
No, I mean, and it wasn't even done for George W.
Hold on,
Bush.
you heard her. She said, you think this could be done for Melania and Donald Trump? No, it wouldn't. Actually, they did try, though, but no. You know the reason why? Is because Donald Trump is a despicable human being. And his wife ain't shit either. And just because you don't see her and she don't speak and all that shit does not give her a path, a pass to try to pretend that she, like, you know what I mean? Like, you a part of that too. She don't fight against this nigga. Trump done said and did horrible shit. You don't hear from Melania. So no, it wouldn't be no peace on her unless Trump bullied somebody to do it. Ain't nothing. Listen, Donald Trump life, even him becoming the president, is still fucked up shit. You can't say nothing about the Obamas other than made up conspiracy theories. How bad is they fucking they story? It's nowhere compared to Trump. So what hit piece you can listen? I mean, anybody can do a good hit piece. Like if I was saying some good shit. But is it that far off that about the Obamas that what this person did with this interview is that far off? But you can't do that with Trump. Everybody be like, some people be like, that's some bullshit. Even his own voters would know that's bullshit. Some of them. Come on, man. What you mad because they can't do that with Melania Trump and Trump? That's what you upset about? No, you can't do that about Trump and Melania. She is a former hoe. Facts. And people were like, oh, Kenny tripping. No, I'm not. You know how Trump met Melania? Through Epstein. And you know how he was trafficking women and bringing women over here in the country or however he was doing it? Do the shit that he had through the modeling industry. That's how Trump didn't meet Melania Trump through nobody else. He met her through Epstein. Facts. What the fuck are we talking about here? The bitch paused for Playboy. And you somehow You want to compare her to Michelle? Michelle is a lawyer. She went to law school. And you can call it DEI, I'll call her whatever you want. But she a motherfucking lawyer. She got a degree of being a lawyer. She can be a lawyer right now. What are we talking about? What it is, they get upset is that they can't compare Melania Trump to Michelle Obama. I'm just talking about accolades. They can't compare Donald Trump to Barack Obama. Accolades. They can't do it. They can't do it. And that's why they mad. That's why they talking this bullshit. They hating the way they doing. They just bringing up shit. They mad at some shit that you shouldn't even be mad at. We mad at a couple. If this one was Trump and Melania Trump, what the fuck I'd be mad about that for? Even when it comes to George Bush. I ain't mad at George Bush. I ain't hating on his relationship. He been with his wife a long goddamn period of time too. What the fuck I'm hating on their love for? I can tell you other shit that I know that George Bush did, other than hate on his love for his wife or they love for each other. Why the fuck would I make that a story? Anyway, let's move on.
And Laura, you know, I mean,
And they clearly were very much in love.
And they clearly were very
Yeah.
much in love and had been married for a long, long time. But, you know, I mean, even Joe and Jill got, despite the fact she's like walking off stage without him, you know, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Got the
Hey,
vote.
Megyn, I covered the White House when Bush was president. W. And
I don't give a fuck what it's all hate. Let me tell you some real shit even about Joe Biden and Jill Biden. The whole time that we was like, oh, Joe ain't the same and all that shit, whole time this nigga had cancer. And we didn't even know about it. Now, we can discuss that we should have known about it. I get that part. But, hey, nigga, I ride with Jill Biden. She got his back. 100 grand. The fuck are we talking about? And these the same motherfuckers be sitting there pretending that they you know, like, yo, just imagine, yo, like, never mind. Let's just move on. Shout out to Joe Biden for standing on business with Joe Biden. And she know this nigga was sick. And I know people in the country like, but still, but that's our fucking husband, bro. That's our fucking husband. Nigga, she supposed to have his back. I respect that more than this fucking creepy shit that these motherfuckers doing.
Despite the fact she's like walking off stage without him, you know, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Got the
Hey,
vote.
Megyn, I covered the White House when Bush was president. W. And one time he was like late. He would go running, and we got this early pool call. It was down in Crawford, and Bush. But he said he was late. He wasn't really late. And he said he leaned over. I think it was Ron Fournier of AP. He says, "You know, you're late." He said, "I was having some quality time with the first lady." And it was good. So genuine. We all kind of blanched. And you can see he kind of regretted saying it. And we went our merry way. But
Hey, we'd much rather that they have some quality time with the first lady than with the 16-year-old intern like JFK reportedly did.
I think she was
But the media
19.
glossed right over that stuff to protect Camelot.
And you still support that party though. It's the same party that uplift. So she said, "Oh, JFK." Come on, man. She supports a pedophile. Is Donald Trump president? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? No, man. Let's move on. These racists say anything.
That they have some quality time with the first lady than with the 16-year-old intern like JFK reportedly did.
I think she was
But the media
19.
will gloss right.
Oh, now you care about pedophilia. When you just said almost a month or two about it wasn't that bad. That it's not really that bad because Jerry Epstein wasn't fucking with 10 or 5-year-old young kids. But now you care about JF Kennedy fucking with a 15-year-old. That's your claim, right? But you got a problem with that. But then you don't really. But just say you do. You got a problem with that. But you don't got a problem with what Epstein did. Right? You made excuses for that. So now you trying to be mad at allegedly that JFK was fucking with a 15, 16-year-old. Are you fucking kidding me? But anyway, let's move on. These people are never consistent morally. They never are.
Rather that they have some quality time with the first lady than with the 16-year-old intern like JFK reportedly did.
I think she was
But the media
19.
will gloss right over that stuff to protect Camelot. With the Trumps, not so much. We will not be engaging in any of these fictions, which
Listen, as black people, we already said that some of y'all favorite presidents was fucking scumbags and wasn't shit anyway. They was racist. Your forefathers owned slaves. You tell us you still defend them though. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is she talking about. If you mad at JFK for being somewhat of a pedophile, right? I just say we going off her what she's saying. Then why you ain't mad at the forefathers for being slave owners that was raping young black girls and women and men, young boys? They were doing it all. But what the fuck are you mad at, bitch? Man, Kelly, you don't even stand on morals. The fuck is she talking about? Man, JFK. Oh, she brought up JFK. Oh, he had sex with a young girl, 15 years old. We still glorify slave owners, though. Slave owner presidents that was okay with molesting young black people. Because, look, you say back in the day, right, what y'all like to do, back in the day, it was legal to molest children and rape people because that was the law. Well, did he get arrested? Listen, I think it's disgusting, but I'm just saying, what, he didn't get arrested? No charges came to JFK for the shit that you said he did? Bitch, what the fuck you bring it up for? Because you're not consistent. Because if JFK did that, then fuck JFK. He's a pedophile. To me, they can't even stand on business with this shit.
They clearly are. These two do not like each other. She cannot stand him. And how do I know that? From her. We're going to play more of her tomorrow. I can think of another 5 bites off the top of my head. Thanks for watching this clip. If you're new here, subscribe.
She said she gonna play more. She can't stand him. Megyn Kelly. Let's just say what you saying is true. Right? Let's just say what they saying is true. Did you say that about Melania Trump? And she ain't never been in the White House. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. When Trump doing a lot of shit he's doing in the White House, Melania Trump is not there. She's not president. I mean, she's not present. What are you talking about? Also, Michelle Obama really don't feel how she feel about Barack. Okay, because a certain little skips and bites that you're gonna do. You're gonna chop some shit up. But you don't say that about Melania. Melania is not even in the White House when a lot of that shit is happening. She's not even there. But she's trying to say, oh, Michelle don't really feel that way about Barack. Well, what about Melania? If that's the case, listen, let's be fair. If you saying what you saying about Michelle, right? Then why are you not saying it about Melania? Because she's not in the White House. She doesn't even live there. She doesn't stay there at all. Melania comes to the White House shit, certain functions. She come there for photo ops. She doesn't stay there with Trump. She doesn't stay there. And they ain't fucking. You know that. You know they ain't fucking. So what the fuck is she talking about? But she ain't never talk about that though. It's all about the Obamas. They so bad. They horrible. Michelle Obama hates Barack Obama. Okay. Listen. Let's go off your narrative. If that's true, then why you don't talk about Trump and Melania? You won't do it because you bias. And you're fucking racist. You ain't got no proof. They live in the same fucking house. You ain't never heard of Michelle not being there at the White House with Barack. You never heard it. It wasn't even a conversation. But this racist white bitch want to sit there and tell you this shit. I'm going to tell you how she don't love her husband. Bitch, do you love your husband? How about that? Megyn Kelly, do you love your husband? The fuck you talking about Barack and them for? They good, nigga. They good. What the fuck you talking about? They fine. You the only one trying to make division there. Make up conspiracy theories talking about I'm gonna prove the next show that how they ain't good. Because what? She talked about her inner feelings? That's any relationship. That's any woman. That's any man. Usually men don't speak like that, but women do. That don't mean they don't love their spouse. I told you these motherfuckers be telling on themselves. They be telling themselves that Megyn Kelly probably in a fucked up relationship with her husband. Listen, I don't know, because her husband might appreciate what she does. He might be just as fucked up as she is. How's a motherfucker that never talk about her relationship talk about other people's relationship? How is that? How that makes sense to everybody? Why everybody would feel like that's comforting in some type of way, like, oh, they real, she being real. She never talk about her relationship with her husband. Never see this motherfucker. I don't know him. Listen, I don't do my show without my wife being okay with it. Right? When I first started this shit, I got a problem with me saying too much. You cut that shit down. You understand. Right? But imagine, Megyn Kelly say all this racist shit like that, so her husband, to a certain extent, is okay with that. Now, she ain't been checked because she continued to say the fucked up racist shit that she says. So her husband is okay with it. So when I was going off saying certain shit, getting too personal, saying certain shit, or acting a certain way, my wife would check me. That's how it's supposed to go. Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm very careful of certain shit I can say and can't say. Right? Because I respect my wife. I respect our privacy. But yeah, but certain shit I'll be real about. A lot of shit I'll be real about. Listen, I'm about 95% right. It's that 5% I'm not. Because, you know, and it's not because I don't want to, it's because I can't speak on certain shit. And that shit affects others. Shit affects my wife, affects certain people in the family, like or people, or homeboys and shit. You can't talk about, there's certain lines you can't cross. You know, if I'm talking about, you know, like I tell motherfuckers, I'm the realest motherfucker that does this shit. No, I'm not. I used to say that. I'll take that back. No, I'm not. Listen, compared to other people, yes, I feel that way. But no, not the realest nigga to do this shit. Because if I'm the realest nigga to do it, I tell everything. You can't tell everything. As nigga, you cross certain lines of saying certain shit. I mean, and if you be too real like that, there's two things about that. One is that person is okay for you to say everything. So other is that you're just lying about shit. So motherfucker say I'm the realest motherfucker ever. I say everything real. Bullshit. You can't say everything real, bro. Yeah. But anyway, people. I'm out. Listen, Megyn Kelly is just a fucking racist. She hate black people. She hate black love. And I'm not shocked about that. But damn, goddamn, Megyn Kelly, you can't hate. You can't be a hater like that. Like I said, I usually don't call women bitches and shit like that, but this bitch is a bitch. And I will call her that to her faces. I don't have no respect for her. And people like, oh, you talk to all women. Like, no, that woman is a bitch. She ain't shit. She's a racist. I don't have no fucking respect for no racists. I call them all out their name. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. Well, anyway, leave your comments, hit that like button, support your boys, your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world.